Today I'm going to be learning more about Australian music and doing that by watching this video. This is the top 30 Australian songs of all time, and just like with the other videos I've made recently about Australian music, these lists are very subjective, so I'm sure that not everybody's going to agree with this top 30, if anybody. Yeah, not everybody got very different tastes and things like that as well, so tell me what you think about this list. And tell me what your favourite Australian songs of all time are. Let's watch.
Australia has produced some great songs in contemporary music over the years, whether that be the biggest chart-topping hits or songs that perfectly embody Australian culture. This list counts down what I believe to be the top 30 Australian songs of all time. I'm only including one song per artist, and it's just contemporary music, so no waltzing Matildas. Feel free to comment your agreements or disagreements below. Let's get into the list. Number 30, Are You Gonna Be My Girl by Jet.
That was a big song. That was in so many adverts actually, that one. Remember?
One of the biggest indie rock hits of the 2000s, this song was smashed all over Hollywood movies, TV shows, and advertisements upon release. Who could forget those iPod commercials? Number 29, Prisoner of Society by The Living End.
I've never heard that song before actually.
The Australian punk rock anthem from the 90s. This song burst The Living End into the spotlight all around the world upon release. The song was voted in at 34 in Triple J's Hottest 100 of all time in 2009. Number 28, Riptide by Vance Joy. A more recent hit, Vance Joy struck commercial gold with this ukulele bop, which caught the hearts of many music fans worldwide, charting in multiple countries and reaching 9 times platinum in Australia. Number 27, The Less I Know The Better by Tame Impala.
This is like one of the best songs. I would have thought this would have been a lot higher, or at least Tame Impala would have been a lot higher on the list.
Kevin Parker hit mainstream success with this disco rock hit that went viral on TikTok and was voted the number 1 song of the 2010s by Triple J listeners. Number 26, The Nosebleed Section by Hilltop Hoods. Undoubtedly the biggest hip-hop song to come out of Australia. Aussies voted this song in at 17 on Triple J's Hottest 100 of all time in 2009, the highest rated Australian song on that list. Number 25,
Tell me more about Australian hip hop
by the Divinyls. An Aussie 80s classic, this song propelled the Divinyls into superstardom with its ultra catchy but cheeky chorus. It still reminds me mostly of Austin Powers killing fembots with his mojo though. Number 24, The Horses by Daryl Braithwaite. A guilty pleasure for many Aussies, young and old. The cover version of this song, Horses, yes, it's actually a cover, went massive in the early 90s and saw a recent resurgence in modern meme culture for its amazing chorus. Number 23, Can't Get You Out of My Head by Kylie Minogue.
Yeah, that was huge in the UK as well, man. She's such a big star in the UK actually, for decades now.
You literally can't get this song out of your head. This Kylie hit went massive all over the world, gaining platinum status in many countries. It's often remembered for its catchy na-na-nas and Kylie's risque outfit in the music video. Number 22, Under the Milky Way by The Church. An Aussie alt-rock classic, The Church launched themselves back into the spotlight when they released this hit. It has enjoyed underground success for many years, especially after its inclusion in the cult classic movie Donnie Darko. Number 21, Into My Arms by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
Into
A beautiful piano ballad, Nick Cave put his whole heart into this song. It's mostly stayed as a more underappreciated song, but alternative music fans adore this song worldwide. Number 20, Tomorrow by Silverchair. A song written by a bunch of 14-year-old kids doesn't normally sound like it would be respected, but Silverchair proved age was no barrier when their debut single went massive all over the world in the 90s grunge boom. Number 19.
That's what I was going to say, like definitely that grunge style like Nirvana and things, but 14 years old? What are they doing now? Are they still popular? That's actually very impressive. It seems like very high quality for that type of music, but being so young, obviously
Somebody
very
That I
talented.
Used to Know by Gotye featuring Kimber.
That's just a brilliant voice, man.
Gotye struck gold with this art pop song that was the biggest song in the world in the early 2010s. Its incredibly unique but catchy sound won Gotye a Grammy and left a lasting legacy that he has never even given an addition to. Number 18, To Her Door by Paul Kelly. Australia's greatest storyteller needs to be in here, and this song, which is his most dramatic but beautiful story, is arguably his most recognisable. I could have maybe gone with How to Make Gravy or Dumb Things Too. Number 17, Don't Dream It's Over by Crowded House.
Don't dream it's over. Head now, when the world.
That's a like, true
No,
classic.
I'm not saying they're a New Zealand band, okay? Arguably, this is Crowded House's biggest hit, especially overseas. They had some other big hits in Australia too, with Better Be Home Soon and Weather With You. Number 16, Reckless by Australian Core.
Don't be so reckless. Roll down your gun.
Can anyone work out what James Rain is saying in the song? No? Oh well. It still sounds great anyway. A beautiful ballad from one of the biggest pub rock bands of the 80s in Australia. Number 15, Am I Ever Gonna See Your Face Again by The Angels.
Describe you clearly, but the sky began to fall. Am I ever gonna see your face again?
Now for arguably the biggest pub rock hit, this song was a 10 out of 10 for crowd interaction that is still enjoyed by many Aussies to this day. Wait, so you're saying this only came in at 15? Number 14, These Days by Powderfinger. Another band with a disputable biggest song, I have to go with These Days over My Happiness. They were both massive hits for the Finger back in the day, but 21 in the hottest 100 of all time is no mean feat for These Days. Number 13, Throw Your Arms Around Me by...
Oh, I've got to say, just already is the same with the other videos I watched about Australian music. It's just like the sheer variety of different types of music, the consistency over so many decades, so much great talent. I actually think it's very impressive. I mean, especially if I compare it to UK, when you look at the population size of the two countries in comparison, Australia's actually produced so much great music for having a smaller population, of course, but just so consistently in such a huge amount of genres of music as well. Yeah, tell me what you're thinking about this list so far.
Hunters and Collectors.
So shed your skin, let's get started. You must roll your arms around me.
Grab your guitar, pull out the marshmallows around the campfire and get ready to sing along to this chorus. Hunters and Collectors made an undying classic with this love ballad in the 80s. Number 12, Never Tear Us Apart by INXS.
INXS not even in the top 10 on this one. Is this their best song?
One of Australia's greatest exports of all time. It's once again the ballad that I'm going to have to go with as their biggest song. This one went big all over the world, but is slowly getting bought out by the Port Adelaide Football Club. Number 11, Treaty by Yothu Yindi.
I made a reaction to this. Beautiful music.
An Indigenous Australian classic. I'm not sure if I'm counting the original or the remix, or maybe just both. It's a beautiful story of Australian Indigenous culture and an instant classic. Number 10, Friday on My Mind by The Easy Beats. Arguably the first Australian rock and roll stars, this is the Easy Beats' most recognisable song. A super catchy chorus and a very creative guitar riff for its time. No one in Australia would say they have never heard this. Number 9,
Is that
Beds
true?
Are Burning by Midnight Oil.
Love that song.
The Oil's biggest hit all around the world, with a poignant message about Australian Indigenous culture. The time has come to put this song in the list, and it definitely has to be in the top 10. Number 8, Solid Rock by Goanna. Another beautiful story that meshes Indigenous Australian culture with contemporary music. This song is mostly only recognised by Australians, but for its cultural impact, it deserves to be this high. Number 7,
Yeah, so already we've seen a couple here in the last couple of songs that have like got that relationship with the Indigenous population and Indigenous culture in Australia. I mean, I guess they're kind of older songs. Is there any more modern, maybe like within the last 5 or 10 years, examples of that? Having that Indigenous relationship in the music? Any really recently released songs?
You're the Voice by John Farnham.
I mean, that's just an anthem. Oh, that voice as well.
Another comeback is brewing. Farnsey came back with a bang when he released You're the Voice, and it went pretty big all over the world. This song is one of the most endeared Australian songs for big crowds and events. Number 6, Sounds of Them by Ganga Jang.
I've never heard of them. Tell me more about them. Ganga Jang.
It's hard to pinpoint what makes this song so great, but I think it's undeniable that this beautiful poetic description of Australian culture by Ganga Jang would be part of the reason. Number 5, Working Class Man by Jimmy Barnes.
Whoa.
Lower middle class Aussie battlers will be cheering to see this one up so high. Jimmy Barnes launched his Australian solo career to new heights when his power ballad came out in the 80s and is still a staple in pubs in the suburbs. Number 4,
Really?
Great Southern Land by Ice House.
Whoa, that I mean, that seems like it could be good.
Another song that is
Never
able
heard
to
of that.
describe Australian culture in a beautiful poetic way. This song is often used to usher in Australian sports teams passing through the gates of an epic intro to an Aussie event. Number 3, It's a Long Way to the Top by AC/DC.
Oh, yeah, people have told me to make a reaction. There's a couple there, the last couple I've not actually heard of the groups before or the song, so should I make a reaction to those? Especially that last one sounded very intriguing. I like the sound of it. This one, It's a Long Way to the Top. I've seen people mention that and say that I should make a reaction to it. Should I do that as well? Is that bagpipes?
Australia's greatest exports, with probably their biggest song. Long Way to the Top is a staple for classic rock fans all over the world, and it's instantly recognisable as soon as you hear the opening guitar chug. Number 2,
he's
Down
playing
Under
bagpipes.
by Men at Work.
you hear the thunder? You better run, you better take cover.
This song went massive all over the world in the 80s when Australia won the America's Cup. Many people will sing this song when referring to an Aussie person, and it's strongly embedded in Australian culture. Just before we reveal the number one, I wanted to go over some honourable mentions. Couldn't fit them all in this top 30 obviously, and there are some amazing Australian songs that I wanted to add. Check them out in this list here. Number 1, K-San by Chisel. Usually regarded as the greatest Australian song of all time. K-San was voted in at number 1 by Triple M listeners in their Best Australian Song Countdown. It's an incredible story of a Vietnam War veteran dealing with his return to civilization. Thanks for checking out this video. I'm sure you have some disagreements or agreements that you want to discuss in the comments, so please feel free to write something down in there. I'm happy to hear it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was cool. So again, like, having I guess I've got a okay knowledge of Australian music now. I know some of the bigger songs and stuff. There was definitely some there that I didn't know, but I feel like that's quite a fair list. There's a lot of great artists in that top 10 and in that top 30 overall. A lot of songs that were huge, worldwide, very popular anthems, not just songs. And yeah, I like how a lot of them like touched on Australian culture, Australian history. Even that number 1 touching on like the Vietnam War. So really songs that have got like a lot of meaning and are actually important rather than just that throwaway kind of bubblegum pop music of today. Like there's so much artists like that. So I enjoyed it. Tell me what you think about that. Do you agree with that top 30? Is there anything you disagree with? Is there any songs that you think were missing from there that should have been in there? Thanks.